Hi everyone, my name I am OWANA IBRAHIM and this is the AFRIKA Podcast. Today I have a guest, a man I respect very much. He has graced your screens and also graced your radios. I know some of you might not have been aware of the voice. He's among the best, I can say the best voice artists I've listened to in the East African, I think I should say in the East African bracket or the East Africa, East and Central. Because I just like your voice, like I like your voice. Man, this guy, he does acting, he's a good musician, and also he's a single dad. I respect that.
Thank you.
Because we have been having only stories of single moms. So when I see a man who can come up and beat all odds and says, let me take this responsibility, I appreciate you. So this is the Toastmasters on the AFRIKA Podcast, and I think he will greet you and we conclude. Thanks very much.
Hi everyone, my name is ABEL AMUNGA. He's already said so much about me, and I ran out of words after such a great introduction from Ibrahim. So thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Yeah, which year did you start acting?
I cannot remember exactly which year, but I know I'm doing almost my 24th year right now.
Wow, great.
So anyone who is 24 out there knows when I started acting.
Yeah, I think my producer is 24.
Okay, so when the producer was
so they are your babies, eh?
when he was coming to this world is when I was actually what I mean by starting to act is when I started active screen acting, because previously I'd been acting, but on church platforms and theater platforms and school platforms. So like since high school I've been acting. And that is like 40 years.
So which is your biggest project? The one you can say, okay, like this was I come from Uganda, and for us in Uganda, we have a saying which they say like kusamba akaji. What we mean by kusamba akaji, it means by knocking the door.
Yeah.
So which is the project you can say that this one, it is the one which opened the door for me and people realized that.
Oh yeah, okay. I have quite a number, but I can specifically point out a program called Tabasam, which was a series running on Citizen TV.
Yeah.
Way then, and by Ken TV. That was my eye opener, I can say, because that's what brought me to the acting limelight.
Yeah.
Yes, because there was one I did before that, but it never went so far. But Tabasam actually brought me to the limelight. Yes.
Oh, great. So how many kids do you have?
I have one kid.
One
biological, but I have so many who are not biological.
Yeah. Actually, for us where we come from, they tell us that a man, they don't count for him kids.
Yeah.
Because anyone can be his kid, right?
It's true, very true.
Yeah, so like you were dad to a gospel artist, and actually she's doing great. Are you the one who discovered the talent in her?
I can positively say yes, because when I got her from the village, she was about 6.5. No one had discovered the talent.
True.
So I brought her to stay with me in Nairobi because her mother had been taken ill and she was in hospital, and her mom was married to another man. So I didn't want her to be kept by that man when the mother was in hospital. So it was wise that I just get her out of that, because actually the reason why the mom had been admitted was the man had beaten her while she was expectant, and the baby had died in the womb. So she had to be, the baby had to be extracted. And when I learned that the man was so abusive and all the animosity around him, I was not very secure with having my daughter with him. So I had to go for her. So that's the time I began living with her. And I actually was meant to live with her for a few weeks. Before the mom gets better, but her voice was husky and coarse. A lot of people expect that girls should sing with, shrill, smooth voices, but hers was husky. It was coarse, and I said, this is a voice to invest in. It's a rich voice. So I kept telling her, can you sing me something different? She only knew one song, some traditional wedding song. So I kept teaching her new tunes every now and then. Then later I started teaching her how to write music, like you can be able to compose your own thing and sing it by yourself. So by and by, I would give her assignments here and there. That's how the journey began.
In fact, for me, the first day I met her physically, I was with David Kasika, maybe you know him, he's a gospel artist. Yeah.
Yes.
So we met, I think it was KBC. Yeah, I was like, man, this guy is very polite, humble. Because for me, the encounter I've had with celebrities, someone will actually will reach somewhere and they will want automatically to show their presence.
What happens is most of them, once they hit public, like once something trends,
Yeah.
they automatically declare themselves stars, and which is very, very dangerous because it doesn't last.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
But I think it is always a process. For us, the entertainers, it doesn't matter either you are doing journalism, the way I'm doing it, podcast, broadcasting, and for you actors, I think whenever we think we have reached there is some ego which comes. Yeah, and we automatically wear it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The Bible says pride comes before falling, and people actually, whether you know it or not, it happens. It does not just work on to those who know, but that's the fact.
Yeah.
Before you fall, pride is what initiates your fall, and your fall is bigger. I mean, as big as your pride is. Like if your pride grows big, your fall becomes so big, everyone notices it. The way you walk around and want everyone to notice you is the same way your fall will be noticed when you go down.
Yeah. Actually, I'm sorry to bring up this question, but I was told to bring it.
Sure.
You have been in your daughter's life, like, since 6, as you have spoke. She has had challenges, which actually you as a dad, I can say actually you have been able to say that now, this is when I have to take my part as a dad. Which is that whereby you can say, actually, this was the most challenging time for my daughter. If at all you are free to talk about it.
Well,
because, why am I insisting you talk about it? Someone seeing us from home, actually they might learn something from this.
Sure.
Because some of us have challenges and we feel like we should give up. But again, there are people who have had bigger challenges than us.
Yes.
So I think someone watching us from home, they would be actually glad to hear this.
And especially single dads out there. And of course, you guys know, if you're a single dad to an opposite sex, like a female, like I'm a single dad to a girl, just like single moms to boys, there reaches a point when development and changes begin to occur in their bodies and life.
Yeah, and this is 18 plus, so
exactly.
Don't fear to speak anything.
Yes, so you are stranded, exactly. So you're stranded, but now once I declared myself to be a single dad to her, a lot of things happened before I just declared I was just going to be me and her. So I was prepared for all this. I was ready for all this. I mean, what I did first was to become very, very close to her, to win her trust, so that she doesn't feel awkward telling me some things about herself and her body. So when it reached that point that we all know, I was ready. We actually had been waiting for it. So that was not a challenge to me. The biggest challenge, first of all, let me cite 2 challenges in my daughter's life. When she was a teenage, that transition from teenage to adulthood was a bit of a challenge, because as much as you declare yourself a macho man, you're the perfect dad, you are able to cater for all this, whatever that comes. It actually does not happen like so, because there's no way a man can fit into a woman's shoe. So there are a bit of challenges that I found. So I had to seek some support from other grown-up ladies, like her aunties and other ladies who are who had kids, and then I would incorporate her kids and my kid, and I would send her there for a weekend so that she could learn from other older girls. So that is how I went through it. The biggest challenge in her life's journey was when she grew up, now, and she got a man, and she decided to move on and get married to this man. She brought me this guy from Nigeria, and we had several interactions. Then later on, I gave my approval because I liked him. He was a good boy. So I liked him, and when he came to ask for a hand in marriage for my daughter, I said yes. So they went ahead and wedded. But a few months later, he was involved in a fire gas explosion fire accident in the house.
Yeah.
And after almost a month in hospital, he passed on. So that was the biggest blow, because I could not imagine. My daughter had been, desiring to get married. She had kept herself pure for many years. She was of age. She was looking forward to raising a family. She was looking forward to, just making a good life, because she had come back from a very, a background that had so much turmoil.
Yeah.
And now she was determined to make the whole difference to her and her family. And then her spouse just passes away when she's still newly married, and they were still in honeymoon, I should say. So, as a parent, that was a really, really big blow. And then other circumstances that surrounded the whole saga, because there were allegations about her involvement in his death and stuff. So the DCI took it up, and there was to and fro, back and forth, DCI, investigations here and there. Then, during the same time, she discovered she was a month pregnant. So that trimester was really, 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 really hard for her to bear, with all this, and then with the social media bashing, cyberbullying and all that. There was so much surrounding her, and I had to be there for her. A lot of people pulled out, and a lot of friends said, "No, I cannot manage this." Others said, "No, I cannot be part of this."
Even me, if I was there by then, I don't want to lie to you, I would have given up.
Yes.
Because it was too much. Many of us, as long as you can be able to get Wi-Fi,
yes,
or free bundles from Safaricom,
yes,
I think you have the guts to speak everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, many people call us keyboard warriors.
You guys are actually, yes.
Yeah, in fact, just to give an example, like for that incident you are talking about, I think last week but one, that is when I realized actually single dads go through much.
Yes.
There's this guy, he comes from Uganda, like he has been a single dad from day one. Then out of the blue, the notes of the daughter come and they leak up on social media.
Oh no, I could not even swallow my water properly.
That is
Goodness.
It. So that is why you see, I've told you, as all of us we are complaining of these challenges, actually we need to knock at people's doors, and that is when you shall realize that people who are passing through much. Because I wouldn't imagine, for me even, let me say, any relative or friend I know, I wouldn't want that to happen. Now I just put myself in the shoes of that dad, and I was like, now what is he going through?
I know.
And this is a guy, actually, he's vocal on radio. Every time he comes up, protects the daughter.
No.
Every time. Then this came up. And he said, actually, what he came out and said, he was like, as all of you are bashing us, one thing you should do, even before abusing the dads, abusing what? Look for the mothers of these kids.
Exactly.
Where are they? Because not all of them that the mothers passed away. Some of them the mothers are alive. And for us kids, we always want, I will say this, we always want people who give us the soft part of life, even if we are wrong.
Yeah, it's true.
So this kid, maybe when she went with the mom, she was taught some other characters, which were not the characters of the dad. So out of the blue, everything leaked.
So unfortunate. That must be so traumatizing.
Automatically.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is it.
So we go through a lot, actually.
Yeah, you go through a lot.
Some things are needless to say. Yeah, some things may sound petty, but they're very, very sensitive, and there's some things that don't get out there, we just let them slide.
Yeah. Which year did you start singing?
I remember I began singing in 1977.
You know, we born of 19.
Yes.
95.
Okay, no one has had that.
Yeah, they have not had.
They've not had it.
They have not had.
What?
Yeah, so actually I'm very young. When I hear you actually just mentioning the years, I just feel like I'm very, very young. So that is when you started singing?
Yes, just like a lot of people say, I've been singing the rest of my life because my dad was, passionate about music. My dad and my mom used to sing in a church choir.
Yeah.
We've all grown up in an SEK church, and you know, their choirs were from the beginning. Their choirs have been very, very instrumental in churches.
Yeah.
So my dad used to sing bass, and my mom used to sing soprano. And we would follow them up for practice sessions in church, but then we were not allowed to sing. So we'd just sit at the pews and watch them sing, and just admire, you know. And later, when I say we, it means me and my brother Noah. I have a brother called Noah Munga, who's my younger brother. So we've like grown up together, you know, a lot of things we've done together. So we used to follow them up, and then later when we moved to the village, because this was in town, Kakamega town. You've heard of Kakamega town?
Yeah, I come from Uganda.
Kakamega
is near.
Western, yeah.
Yeah.
So when we moved to the village, where my dad bought property, we really missed music. They never used to go back to it, because now the church was so far away, so they like detached themselves from the choir. So we missed music, and I decided to make my own guitar. So I carved a shape of a guitar from a tree that is easy to carve. We call it in my language omurembe. It's very easy to carve. You know, the back is not very hard. So I carved my guitar. I did the hole. I took some, you know, just traditional strings from a sieve. You know, the sieve that, you know, the flour sieve. I demolished it and made a guitar of my own. It was not so perfect. It was not able to be pulled into tune. Only 2 strings would be pulled into tune. So that's how I started. Everywhere I went with that guitar, even in church, and I would be asked to sing with it. So later, I landed on a real acoustic guitar, and I was really, I suffered culture shock, because even just placing my fingers on the guitar, my fingers were already sweating. But after a few months, I started learning, and I've been playing guitar all my life from then. And I've been singing from 1977 in local churches, and then later I came to Nairobi in 1985. Then I joined a local church choir where I sang and became a choir master. And then later on, I advanced and started teaching talents here and there, and as well as do my own music. That's why I've not been very, very instrumental as far as recording is concerned. But I've really been able to help other musicians.
Then as a voice artist, when did you start?
Voice artist was around 1993, 93, 94, because then I used to work for a spare part shop for an Asian who used to run a spare part shop in town here. And then I was a salesperson at the counter. So there was a gentleman who used to be a very frequent customer. So every time he came to the shop, he would say, "Where's that guy with a good voice? I want him to sell me." So every time he came, my boss would say, "Hey, Abel, kuja uzia huyu bwana, wewe hapana nataka mtu ingine." So I would go, and then this guy would tell me, "Have you ever tried radio?" I'm like, "I don't know even how to get there." And furthermore, I had studied as an accountant, and how radio would come in was questionable. So he said, "No, you need to try radio." He said, "But I don't know how to get there." So one day he said, "I have a proposal to do a radio program on KBC, and I'm thinking that you can be a co-host with me." I'm like, "How?" He said, "Don't worry, we will learn on job." I've also not done it. I've been doing my local dialect, but now let's try it in Swahili. So that is how I began presenting a program on KBC radio then, around 1993, 1994, 1995. And then during that time, because of that exposure that I got from KBC presenting that program, I don't want to mention it.
No, don't.
Yes. So a lot of people discovered me, so they started sending me, invitations for auditions for voice. So I would go to Sound and Picture, I would go to Zamaradi, I would go to many places I used to go to, and most of the auditions I did, I got the job like almost immediately. Like out of 10, I would only fail 2 auditions. So I did a lot of radio commercials, TV commercials.
But were they paying by then?
Well, notice it happens right now. Though then the pay was just like, I could say it was equal, because then the currency was stronger than it is right now. So even if you pay me 50,000 for a voice now, and then you paid me 10,000, it's still on the same scale, I would say. Yeah. So I can say it was paying, because from then, that's how I educated my daughter, from primary school through high school through university. Yeah.
Wow, that is great. Okay, we have something, and we want you to try it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we received it from one of our Africans who enjoy this podcast. So it is here. You'll try it. The cameras are on.
No worries.
Yeah, it is here.
Okay.
Yeah, just do a simple for us. It is just like say simple whatever for our podcast.
Now I need to, if you can maintain the comp on your side, I need you to increase the font.
Okay.
I'm not of your age, okay?
Yeah.
Increase the font for me.
Do it, Nani.
Give it to
Quickly.
Kono.
Yeah. He's my producer.
Yeah, increase that font.
Santi.
Great.
It is there.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is it. The first word, it is Oka Ka. I think the normal
You know,
Kikuyu.
Oka is a word for calm in Kikuyu, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have my Kikuyu friend and she can give me thumbs up with that. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Oka, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Africa's most professional and unprofessional podcast. We are here because you are here. A true pill of stress and depression. A home of your happiness. A home of your joy. This is AFRIKA Podcast. Welcome home. This is your home.
Wow.
I was rehearsing. I was rehearsing.
I like that. Okay, let's repeat.
Okay.
Oka Ka.
Oka.
It is Oka.
Oka.
Yes, okay.
Oh, sawa. Oka.
Oka. Oka, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Africa's most professional and unprofessional podcast. We are here because you are here. A true pill of stress and depression. A home of your happiness. A home of your joy. This is AFRIKA Podcast. Welcome home. This is your home.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Very, very much. That one will work.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so as we sign out with love. Let's meet next Thursday. And in case you want us to bring him back, just go in the comment section. Welcome our returning subscribers, and you who hasn't subscribed, there is no need for you to be a squatter. Yet this is your home. Just subscribe, we move. We sign out, and we sign out with love.
Love.